your channel becomes the go-to place when people experience a specific kind of problem. And what kind of specific problem is that? That is your niche. Because when you start a YouTube channel, as you said, you need to have decided what kind of problem you want to solve. Therefore, you'll become the go-to individual, authority, expert on that particular issue. And it's very easy to do it because you develop your skills, your expertise step by step every single day as you continue to learn and get better and better in your craftsmanship. So some of the questions that you may want to ask yourself so that you can be the go-to person within your niche, and especially for your YouTube channel to be the go-to channel when people experience the kind of problem that you want to solve. By making the content that you do is, first and foremost, ensure that your content is sustainable, that it's evergreen, meaning it's always relevant. Have, you can jump on trends, there's nothing wrong with that, but in terms of for longevity, for long-term sustainability of your channel, you want to be discussing issues which are evergreen, which are people are always experiencing, and your content will provide the solution to those issues. So one of the questions that you want to ask yourself is, what's their age, my audience? What kind of age group do I want to speak to, right? And for this, brainstorm your ideas, just write everything that comes to your mind. Most of the time, you'll find that your current life experience will tend to match the current life experience of your age mates, right? So you can decide to go that way, or you can decide because, say for instance, you want to talk about business and that's what your YouTube channel you want it to be about. This is quite, overall, you want to address beginner entrepreneurs, maybe small type kind of businesses, solo entrepreneurship, or do you want to, small business size, or do you want to address corporations, right? Big enterprises. So now, in terms of age of the people that you're talking to, then you want to ensure that the individuals, say for instance, a single man who is a bachelor living his life to the fullest, right? Or issues or even goals are going to be very different to a midlife, to a guy who is in his midlife, who's got a family, he's got a job, or he's got a business that he's running, right? His life issues are going to be very different to the to the guy who is single and getting on with his career. So your YouTube channel should be able to decide, first and foremost, which kind of age group do you want here. And from then, this will inform the kind of messaging that you're sending, the kind of words you're using, the kind of examples you're using in your YouTube, in your YouTube content. So it's really important to have an idea of what kind of age group do you want to be talking to, because that's going to be very useful and it makes it easier for you as you go along building your content and video content for your YouTube channel. The other thing is you want to target them according to where they live. This is really important because you notice that most of the YouTube channels, they tend to post on Fridays at certain times, even on Sundays at certain times, depending with, say, with your analytics, you'll notice, you'll get to see after you've posted a few videos, you'll get to see like which geographical areas actually watch your channels, and then you can time which time zones do they actually tend to watch, what time do they actually watch. So geographically, you want to ensure that your YouTube channel, this is when you're really committed to the work that you're doing on YouTube, right? So your YouTube channel, ensure that you upload your videos according to the geographical region that you're addressing when they're awake, preferably in the morning, so that in the morning they get the notification, they know that you've posted, and during the day at whatever time they choose to, they can watch it, right? And obviously have your CTAs going, that's your call to actions, so that people can continue to subscribe. So a very good example is, hope you're finding a lot of value. If you're enjoying this video, click the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button too, and let me know so far, what have you learned, what's your biggest takeaway so far in the comments below. So ensure that you're aware of your target areas, geographical areas, and what time are they awake. When they're awake, upload your videos at that particular time. So another thing is, now, I don't want to receive any hate for this. This is a bit controversial, but it's really relevant. Even in business, it's quite relevant. You need to know what's the majority of your gender. I know that's quite a sensitive topic at the moment, but nonetheless, you need to know the gender of your followers, your audience. What's the majority? You'll have a bit mix of both, obviously, but you need to check which is the predominant gender. Now, this is so important because, say, for instance, you are, maybe you want to start a YouTube channel on, say, female underwear, right? Lingerie. You want to be reviews. You want to ensure, you really want at the end of the day to be talking about fashion style, but for women, right? That will inform your colors, the kind of language you use, your backdrops, everything. Do you know what I mean? A whole lot will be determined by the gender that you want to address, right? And this also obviously will inform, say, for instance, you might be wanting to single 40-year-old women who are, at the top ladder, in their careers. The way you address those, the way, the language you use, the kind of, descriptions that you use within your content will be very different if you are addressing male entrepreneurs, right? Because you're talking to completely two different people, two different kind of audiences. So it's really important to know what kind of gender predominantly follow you or are part of your audience. After you've posted quite a lot on YouTube, the analytics will pick that up and they will feed that back to you. I hear it's about when you've reached about 30, I think about 30 videos or so, but this is obviously, your consistency in uploading really does determine the analytics that you get. Also, you might want to maybe use Google Analytics. That is also really, really good. Also for your website or even for your, YouTube channel, you can use that. So it's very good for information, like for data like that, which obviously will help you inform your, inform your content, inform how you, so like the end offer that you might want to make for your, to your audience eventually, if you choose to, make it a business. The other thing is, let's have a look. Yes, another thing is also to do with what kind of monetization you're really after. If you want to start a YouTube channel with the end goal in mind, or want to make money at the end of the day to monetize your channel. Obviously, what you need to just to even qualify to be considered at all by YouTube, you want to have 1,000 subscribers. It's a requirement, and 4,000 watch hours within a 12-month period. But the subscriber count, just that it's not bound to the 1 year duration. Now, for that, you might want to actually address, your channel might want to niche into high CPM niches, for instance, technology, entrepreneurship, insurance, financials, whereby those companies, they they have high CPM, which means for every thousand, for every 1,000 views, you're going to be paid quite a high amount of money. But for, for a lot of other things, say maybe fashion, clothes, the CPM tends to be quite low. But if, say, your goal is monetization, you actually want to ensure that then you target the audience, or even target your channel, the content should be geared towards high CPM, you know technology, entrepreneurship, finance, business, that sort of thing, content really that will be very useful for you eventually when you choose to monetize your channel. So that's something to also bear in mind in terms of eventually what's the end goal of my channel. And obviously with YouTube, you know as well as I do, the only thing that really matters is long term, because it doesn't grow as quickly as as you might want to. It takes a little bit longer, or even sometimes it actually just takes so much hard work before it actually, if we gain any traction. So you need to be aware of that and plan accordingly. Now, also, you want to ask yourself, how do you want to promote to your audience, right? Say, you want to, this will inform the kind of messaging, the kind of words that you use, the copy really, that you use when you want to promote, say, a specific kind of content to your, to your audience. This will inform the kind of images that you use, the kind of videos that you use. Say, for instance, you're talking to an older audience. If you've watched YouTube for a long time in different YouTube channels, you realize some people talk so fast. Literally, they're energized, they're motivated, they're energized, but the pace at which they speak, it's almost like they're rapping, literally. They're like competing with Sean Paul or something, it's just like, wow, 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 it's so fast. Now, the thing is this, when you speak that fast, it's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not throwing shade at anyone. That's perfectly fine. If it's for entertainment, fantastic. If it's comedy, fantastic, right? But if it's like educational, and especially for the older generation, right? Again, your age range, right? If it's for them, you need to be a bit slow, right? But if, say, you're talking to young people, say ages 18 to 34, come on now, do all the Sean Paul rapping that you want. Talk as fast as you like because they can keep up. But if you're talking to an older generation, then your content, the way you message, the way you talk, that will be quite different. It needs to be measured and very articulate, very clear, and using a lot of aids, diagrams, demonstrations. You can use tools like OBS. That will be very good because then you can pair it up with maybe a PowerPoint slide just so that you make it clear and moving at a measured pace. That would be very much, in alignment with that demographic or senior in age, demographic. But if you're talking to the youngsters, wrap away, they can cope, they can handle it, so you're fine. Yeah, so that's why it's really important to know this YouTube channel that you're thinking of creating, or this side hustle. Who are you going to be talking to?